Evan jammed his shoulders into the maintenance crawlspace, prying past buckled panels as steam scalded his neck. The starship groaned, a deep metallic wail vibrating through his bones. Sparks showered from overhead conduits, lighting the gloom in blue stabs. He crawled deeper, toolkit banging his hip. Voices barked outside, clipped alien syllables, boots crunching debris. Rescue teams. Or worse, he couldn't risk capture. Humans were fair game in this sector. A tiny hand latched onto his sleeve, claws pricked fabric. Evan whipped around, heart slamming. A child stared back through the torn conduit. Wide violet eyes, skin a shimmering azure with faint bioluminescent veins. 4 small limbs clung to the grating. Faceports fluttered, gills gasping in the thickening haze. She tugged harder. No words, just a whimper. Evan's instincts fired. Kid first. He grabbed her under the arms and yanked her through. She weighed nothing, all elbows and fins. The conduit mouth spat her into the crawl space like ejected cargo. Boots thudded closer outside. Boots thudded closer outside. The royal spawn can't have gone far. Evan snatched his pry bar. He rammed it into the hatch seals, twisting until hydraulics whined and locked. Metal screeched. Sparks danced inches from the girl's tail. She flinched toward them, mesmerized. No. Evan scooped her up, dragging her clear. His boots skidded on oily grime, a cable whipped free, arcing electricity. It singed his pant leg. He dumped her against a bulkhead and lunged back. One boot stomped the cable, grinding it dead. Silence followed, broken only by the ship's hiss. The girl coughed, ports fluttering wildly. Atmosphere poisoned her, ship's scrubbers failed, methane and ozone choking the air. Her veins dimmed, eyes glazing. Evan ripped foam insulation from a wall panel. Fibers tore with a rasp. He balled it tight, shaping a crude mask. Duct tape from his kit sealed the edges. He pressed it over her faceports. Suction gripped instantly. She inhaled sharp. Ports stabilized, glowing steady. Violet eyes locked on his. Good, he muttered. Breathe easy. She didn't bolt. Instead, she curled against his side, tiny claws kneading his shirt. Trust? Or shock? Evan scanned the crawl space. Power flickered, emergency lights stuttering. A hull plate buckled nearby, admitting faint howls of wind. Crash site storm. Rescuers would breach soon. He wedged his prey bar into a loose vent grate, popping it free. Cooler air trickled in, less toxic. He jury-rigged a baffle from scrap plating, directing flow past them. The girl, Miri, he'd guessed from the voices pointed at his toolkit. Her mask muffled a trill. Hungry? Evan pulled a protein bar, snapped it half. He offered a piece. She sniffed, then nibbled. Crumbs, dusting azure scales. Outside, a new voice cut through, regal, edged with steel. Miri. Daughter, answer me. Princess Silene. Evan pieced it from chatter. Royal wreck. Politics turned lethal. Boots halted at their hatch. Breached conduit here. Life signs. Faint. Blush, growled another. Captain Veshkal, by the barked orders. Agenda dripped from his tone. Not rescue. Leverage. Evan's jaw tightened. He tapped his wrist calm. Dead. Fried in the crash. No calling for help. Just him, the kid, and failing ship guts. Miri tugged his sleeve again. She mimed claws, then pointed to the hatch. Warning. Bad guys? She nodded fierce. Bioluminescence pulsing green. Fear, color, ship lurched. A bulkhead vented plasma. Flames licking close. Alarms blared, then cut to static. Evan rolled over her shielding. Heat singed his back. He grabbed a fire suppressor from his belt, sprayed foam in a tight arc. Flames died. Miri's eyes widened. She patted his arm. Thanks? He grinned despite it. Trade you. Point out the next bad spot. She scanned, claw jabbing a trembling power node. Wires frayed, sparking mini arcs. Evan nodded. He stripped insulation with pliers, splicing leads barehanded. Current hummed under his fingers. One twist, and the node stabilized. Lights steadied. Miri trilled approval, hugging his leg.
Outside, Veshkal snarled.
Cut torches! She's in there with something! Torches whined to life, plasma cutters eating metal. Silene's voice rose. Hold, that's my child. No harm. Priority is containment, princess. Stand down. Evan cursed under breath. He eyed the crawlspace end. A service ladder dropped to engineering subdeck. Risky but open space meant death. Miri shook her head, claws digging in. Refused to leave his shadow. Stubborn, he said. Like me. He boosted her onto his back. She latched like a limpet, mask pressed to his shoulder. Evan gripped the ladder rungs, descending one-handed. Toolkit dangled from teeth. Subdeck reeked of coolant, green sludge pooling ankle-deep. Console sparked readouts in alien script flickering doom. Core breach in 20 cycles. She stuck close, scanning panels with surprising focus. Her claw tapped a sequence. A hidden locker hissed open. Medkit, rations. Nice, Evan said. He stuffed his pockets, then hotwired a console. Human fingers danced over keys, bypassing locks. Ventilation rerouted, fresh air pumped their way. Miri watched, mimicking his taps. Ports flared brighter. Hull shuddered. Veshkal's team breached upper levels. Shouts echoed down shafts. Evan rigged a proximity alarm from spare parts, jury-rigged beeper tied to motion sensors. It chirped test, loud enough to warn, quiet enough to hide. Miri clapped silent, eyes shining. You're quick, he said. Team now? She nodded, pressing forehead to his hand. Bond sealed in grime and sparks, but the core ticked down, 15 cycles. Plasma buildup. Evan traced conduits. Alien design, elegant but brittle under crash stress. He traced a bypass route, needing coolant valves. Miri pointed overhead, a manual override. Jammed. He pried it with bar stuck solid. She wedged her small claws in, twisting with him, grunt together. It spun free. Coolant hissed, relief. Core temp dropped. Veshkal's voice boomed closer. Flush the subdeck, gas protocols. Poison dispersal. For them, Evan grabbed Miri. Run! She pointed aft. A forgotten escape pod bay half crushed. They bolted. Sludge splashed. Alarms wailed. Saline shouted from above. Evan Rourke. Human. Protect her. She knew him? Crash survivor tales spread fast. Pod bay door groaned open. One, pod intact, prepped, but Veshkal's shadows loomed in the access shaft, rifles glinting. Miri clambered into the pod, strapping in. Evan hit launch overrides. Pod seals clamped. Thrusters whined. Veshkal fired. Bolts scorched hull. Pod ejected, streaking into storm. Inside, Miri unmasked, ports breathing free. She gripped Evan's hand. Jason. For now. But scanners pinged. Pursuers inbound. Ensialen's beacon flared. Mutual rescue call. Evan smiled grim. Family sticks. Let's get your mom. Evan crouched in the flickering glow of a dying panel, shard of hull metal clutched tight. He scratched a jagged map into the blackened bulkhead. Red zones for toxic leaks. Green for breathable paths. Miri huddled beside him, her wide eyes tracking every line, small claws twitching. Bad air here, he whispered, tapping a smeared circle.
End spews acid vapor. We skirt it.
Miri nodded fast, mimicking his tap with one claw. Her breathing ports fluttered under the makeshift mask he'd rigged from filter scraps. Crash had torn the ship open like a tin can. Hostiles swarmed the site outside. Veshkal's crew, rifles sweeping. Princess Silene called somewhere distant, her voice sharp over comms, static. But in here, just him and the kid. One human tech against a galaxy that underestimated his kind. He pointed down the corridor. This way. Least toxic. Follow close. Miri gripped his pant leg. They crept out. Boots silent on sludge-slick deck. Evan led, nose wrinkled at faint chemical burn in the air. His map proved right. No coughing fits, no burning eyes. Alien ship hummed wrong. Conduits pulsing erratic blues and greens. He ducked a sparking junction, pulled Miri under. Halfway, a grate rattled overhead. Drip, drip. Coolant wept from a cracked line, pooling in oily beads. Thirst clawed Evan's throat. Miri licked her ports, whimpering soft.
Water first, he muttered. Goal. Hydration.
No dying parched while hunters closed in. He scanned for materials. Panel nearby hung loose, warped aluminum. Perfect. Evan yanked it free with a grunt, edges biting his palms. Bent it into a shallow trough angled just so under the drip. Miri watched, head tilted. Like this, he said, wedging it secure. Drops pattered in, slow at first. He pulled his canteen, dented survivor kit from his own wreck months back, and positioned it below. Condensation gathered fast, cool and clean enough. No poison markers on his jury-rigged tester strip. Miri reached to help, claws steadying the panel. Drop by drop, canteen filled. Evan capped it, handed it over. Small sips.
She drank, ports bubbling relief, then passed it back, eyes shining.
Pressed claw to his hand. Thanks, clear as words. Evan swigged deep. Strength returned. They moved on, Canteen sloshing promise. Corridor narrowed. Debris choked.
Evan boosted Miri over a buckled beam.
She landed light, pointed ahead. Safe? His map said yes. They squeezed through, emerging in a subdeck alcove. Consoles blinked here, emergency systems half alive. Evan checked readouts. Power low, but stable. Good spot to hole up. Miri wandered 2 steps, drawn to a pulsing light. Her claw tapped the console. Curious, tap, click. Alarm shrieked. High-pitched wail ripped through the ship. External ping burst out. Crash site beacon. Screaming life signs detected. Evan's blood iced.
No!
He lunged, scooped Miri back. Outside, boots thundered closer. Veshkal's growl crackled over speakers. Subdeck ping. Breach it, royals or not. Secure the asset. The kid. Evan slammed the console hood open. Sparks stinging fingers. Wires tangled alien style, colors he didn't know by heart, but circuits universal.
Alarm loop here, power feed there. He yanked a multi-tool from belt, snipped the hot line.
Sizzle. Alarm died mid-wail.
Silence crashed back, but echoes lingered. Veshkal's team rerouted, floodlight sweeping vents outside Evan's view. Miri froze in his arms, trembling. Ports wide with fear. Evan knelt eye level. Quiet now. Freeze and listen. He raised hand, palm out flat, signal for stop, then cupped ear. Copy? She blinked, then mirrored. Ear cupped. Perfect. Good. They pass. He held her gaze steady, human calm against alien panic. She'd learn. Footsteps vibrated deck plates. Close. Evan pulled her into shadow, bodies pressed to cold metal. Breath synced, slow, silent. Miri's claw gripped his thumb. Veshkal barked outside the hatch. Scan for pings. Princess's spawn hides here somewhere. Flush if needed. Hatch groaned. Evan tensed, tool ready to jam it. But a new voice cut in, Silene. Fierce. Stand down, Captain. My daughter lives. You touch this wreck, you answer to the crown. Standoff. Boots shuffled. Retreat. Tension eased. Evan exhaled. Miri copied his freeze signal again, unprompted. Pride flickered. He ruffled her head, frill gentle. Smart kid. They had water. Signals. Next. Outmaneuver the rest. But core readouts flickered, warning on the console he'd silenced. Plasma buildup accelerating.
15 cycles to critical. Mary tugged him toward a duct.
Up. Evan traced conduits. Bypass needed.
Her point manual override jammed overhead. He pried with bar.
Stuck. She wedged claws in, twisted with him. Grunt together. Spun free. Coolant hissed. Temp dropped. Veshkal boomed anew. Flush subdeck. Gas protocols. Poison coming. Evan grabbed Miri. Run. She pointed aft. Escape pod bay half crushed. They bolted, sludge splashing. Silene shouted above. Evan Rourke. Human protect her. He knew his rep spread. Pod door groaned open. One intact. Miri strapped in. Evan overrode. Launch. Seals clamped. Thrusters whined. Veshkal's rifles glinted in shaft. Bolts scorched hull. Pod ejected into storm. Safe breath. Miri gripped his hand. Scanners pinged pursuers.
Salene's beacon flared. Evan grinned grim.
Family sticks. Let's get your mom. But Pod shuddered. Impact warning blared. Wreckage field ahead. Debris storm. Controls bucked in Evan's grip. He wrestled yoke, dodging chunks bigger than shuttles. Miri whimpered, claws digging seats. Got it. He growled. Human reflexes kicked in. Steady pull. Thread the needle. Pod skimmed a girder, sparks flying. Clear. Miri stared, ports flaring awe.
You.
Fly. Good. Practice. He patched nav to Silene's beacon. Mutual rescue inbound. But Veshkal's ships dotted scopes. 3 hunters closing fast. Evan rerouted pod power. Shields up minimal. Weapons? None. Improvise. Help me, he said. Miri unstrapped. Crawled to engineering panel. He pointed conduits. Twist that valve. Slow the bleed. Her claws spun it precise. Leak sealed. Pod steadied.
Outside. Storm lightning cracked. Veshkal's lead ship hailed. Surrender the air.
Human chaff irrelevant. Not today. He dove pod low, using cloud cover. Alien hunters overcommitted, sleek but rigid. He jinked hard. Human gut instinct. One clipped debris spun out. Miri cheered, silent fist pump. 2 left. Silene's signal strengthened. Rescue shuttle vector closing. Veskal snarled over open channel. Primitive. You'll doom her. Evan banked sharp. Watch this. He spotted wreck cluster magnetic mines from crash, live, lured hunters in. Detonation chain lit space. Second ship vapor. Last one broke off, damaged. Pod docked, Silene's shuttle hard. Airlock cycled. Princess waited, armored, eyes fierce gratitude. Evan Rourke. She pulled Miri close, then gripped his shoulder. Forehead touch. Alien bond. You kept her alive. Family now.
Miri beamed between them. Veshkal fled scopes.
Evan wiped grime. Just getting started. But shuttle alarms pinged. Larger fleet inbound. The heavy door groaned and slammed down, sealing the corridor with a hydraulic hiss. Sparks danced from the control panel where Miri crouched, her wide eyes fixed on him. The alien child's breathing rasped. Too shallow, her face seal cracked from a hole breach earlier. Quiet, Evan murmured, crouching beside her.
He taped a fresh strip over the fissure.
It held. Barely. The crash alarm wailed through the vents, a piercing echo from failing life support. Footsteps clanged beyond the barrier, heavy, deliberate, not debris settling. Someone alive. Evan grabbed a plasma cutter from his tool belt. Powered it low. Identify yourself, a voice cut through the intercom, sharp and commanding. Princess Silene of the Valori Concord. Open this door. My daughter is aboard. Evan froze. Princess? The kid, Miri, she'd whispered her name, clung to his leg, nodding frantic. Her mother, but outside scanner pings multiplied. Hostile signatures closing on the wreck. Veskal's recovery team broadcasting claim frequencies. No rescue. Leverage hunt. Prove it, Evan called. He boosted the intercom gain. Miri tugged his sleeve, claws pricking fabric. Silence. Then metal scraped. The medkit. Sealed compartment C. Royal lock. Evan eyed the locker across the bay. Red gene seal glowed, unyielding. He'd tried cracking it earlier. No luck. Human fingers too blunt for biotech. Stand back, the voice ordered. Evan hauled Miri behind a console. The bulkhead wheel spun on its own. Remote hack?
No. Pressure equalized.
The door cracked open 6 inches. A clawed hand thrust a palm against the medkit. Bioluminescent veins pulsed. The seal flashed green. Lid popped. Princess Silene shoved through the gap, rifle leveled. Tall, scaled skin shimmering iridescent under emergency lights. Crested head ridges flared in tension. Eyes like polished obsidian locked on Miri. Miri! She dropped to knees, scooped the child close. Nanite patch from the kid hissed onto the cracked seal.
Miri's rasp eased to soft breaths. Evan kept the cutter humming.
Nice trick. Gene, key? Silene's gaze snapped up. Assessed him. Grimy jumpsuit, human bulk, tools jury-rigged everywhere.
You kept her alive.
How? Salant and tape. Evan lowered the cutter, but stayed ready. Ship's bleeding atmosphere. Hostiles inbound. Veshkal's markers on every scan. She stiffened, stroked Miri's crest. Traitor captain, he wants her as pawn. Stewed fluid, rifle reclaimed but pointed down. You know this wreck? Evan nodded. Tech. Crawled every conduit since crash. Safe paths to auxiliary pod.
Failing cores venting plasma forward decks.
Miri wriggled free, patted Evan's knee. He fix. Surprise, human. Underestimated. She tapped wrist comm. Trade. My scrambler jams their signals. Your lead. Evan waited. Scrambler meant no enemy locks. His routes meant survival. Deal. Led them left into a service crawl. Miri scampered ahead, fearless now. Silene covered rear scanner sweeping. First hurdle. Sparking power relay. Arsing blue. Evan slapped a bypass shunt across nodes. Current rerouted. Light steadied. Silene paused. Valori engineers take cycles for that. Practice. Evan wiped sweat. Humans improvise. Miri diggled, twisting a loose panel shut with precise claws.
Team!
Deeper in, gravity flickered. Evan braced a stanchion, wedged a hydraulic jack under deck plating. Stabilized. So clearly says, scrambler active, she said. Enemy pings faded on his handheld scan. Veshkal's lead ship orbits. Ground teams deploy. Evan pointed starboard vent. Cut through here. Pod bays intact. Life support marginal, but I patched the stider. Crawled single file. Miri hummed a tune, claws clicking rhythm. Silene's breathing synced behind Evan. Trust forming in the dark. Hull shuddered. External clamps? Dash call boarding. Evan dropped into pod bay. Oval escape craft squatted, dented but sealed. He hot-wired the panel. Diagnostics scrolled green. Mostly. Silene strapped Miri in.
You fly this? Enough.
Evan fired engines. Pod thrummed. Beacon sync. She patched her royal transponder. Mutual rescue inbound. But Veshkal's ships. Scanners lit. 3 hunters. Closing fast. Evan punched launch. Pod rocketed free. Debris shield absorbing impacts. Storm clouds boiled outside the viewport. Help me, he said to Miri.
She unstrapped, crawled to engineering panel.
He pointed conduits. Twist that valve. Slow the bleed.
Her claws spun it precise, leak sealed.
Pod steadied. Veshkal's lead ship hailed. Surrender the air. Human chaff irrelevant. Dove low into cloud cover. Hunters overcommitted, sleek but rigid. Ejinked hard gut twist no sim taut. One clipped wreckage spun out.
Miri fist-pumped silent. 2 left.
Selene's signal strengthened. Her rescue shuttle vector closed. Veshkal snarled open channel. Primitive.
You'll doomer.
Spotted wreck cluster, crash mines, magnetic live. Lured them in. Detonations chained. Second ship vaporized. Last broke off, trailing fire. Pod dock cycled sailing shuttle. Hard, airlock cycled.
Princess waited, armored, eyes fierce. Evan Rourke
Pulled Miri close. Gripped his shoulder. Forehead touch, alien bond right. Family now.
Miri beamed.
Evan wiped grime. Just started. Alarms pinged. Larger fleet inbound. Veshkal's reinforcements.
Selene's calm crackled.
We have your position. Surrender or we glass the sector. She snarled. Rifle up. 2 minutes to fleet call.
Evan eyed controls. Not yet.
A shadow loomed on scopes. Veshkal's flagship, weapons hot. Silene whirled, furious, armed to the teeth. Miri clutched Evan's leg, but deeper in the shuttle's hold. Evan spotted it. A forgotten human probe drone, mag-locked from the crash.
He cracked its casing. Power cells intact.
Gimme sec. Selene covered the airlock. They breach in 90. Evan cross-wired the drone to shuttle Oz. Launched a decoy hot, mimicking Royal Beacon. Hostile split.
Smart. Silene breathed. Ridges relaxed. Fraction.
Human, clever. Boom. One hunter lingered. Evan tweaked shuttle shields routing pod batteries. Minimal arc, but enough. Enemy fired. Grazed.
He counterfired improvised pulse from the drone's thrusters. Hit vents.
Ship listed. Veshkal's voice raged. Impossible. Shuttle jumped to slipspace edge. Silene's fleet allies blinked in true rescue. But scopes pinged again. Veshkal circled back, damaged, but calling blockade. Evan patched hull micro-leaks with Miri's help. Her claws perfect for fine seals. Salin coordinated Hale's voice steel. In the calm, Miri curled between them.
Selene watched Evan reroute power.
You hide nothing. No boasts.
He grinned. Her forehead touched his again.
Bond deepened. Fleet closed protective. Veshkal retreated, for now. Evan scanned ahead. Unknown debris field. Opportunity. Next fix? Miri asked. Selene nodded. Family forged in drop pods thundered into the debris field, shaking the wrecked starship's hull. Evan Rourke crouched low in the engineering bay, one hand clamped over Miri's muzzle. The alien child's wide eyes locked on his. She nodded, silent. Princess Selene pressed against the bulkhead beside them, her iridescent crest flattened under a scavenged hood. Dust sifted from cracked conduits above. Recovery squad, fan out. Captain Veshkal's voice barked through the hull mics, amplified and harsh. Priority? The princess's spawn. Optics hot, stunners primed, no survivors without royal markers. Evan's jaw tightened. Not rescue. Collection. He glanced at the flickering console. Vent fans offline since crash. Perfect. Miri squirmed, her tiny claws scraping his arm. He whispered, "Easy, kiddo. Uncle Evan's got this." Selene's ridges flared briefly, then smoothed. She mouthed, "Hurry." Evan yanked open the access panel. Wires sparked. He traced the schematics in his head. Human standard overrides meshed with alien tech. Reroute power from aux life support. Reverse polarity on corridor vents. He stripped insulation with plier teeth, cross-linked red to blue. Veshkal's squad breached the outer hull 2 bays over. Boots clanged on grated floors. Sector 1 clear.
Moving to engineering.
Evan slapped the execute relay. Fans whirred to life, howling. Fine crash dust blasted into the search corridor like a gray blizzard. Optics whined. Blinded. Sensors fouled. A trooper yelled. Dust storm. Can't see past my crest. Push through. Veshkal snarled. Flush it. Evan grinned, sweat beading. Human fix. Improvise with junk. Aliens planned. He adapted. Silene shifted, peering through a vent slit. Her hand gripped Evan's shoulder. Firm, trusting. No words needed. Outside, armored figures stumbled, wiping lenses. Veshkal loomed tallest, his scarred crest pulsing red with fury.
Idiots! Manual sweep!
The whelp's beacon pinged here. Miri whimpered softly. Evan scooped her up, her warm scales pressing against his chest. She clutched her toy shuttle, a dented plastic relic from the crash. A clatter echoed. Miri froze. The toy slipped from her claws, tumbling into a floor grate. It bounced, loud in the sudden quiet, straight into the sweep path. Evan cursed under breath.
Squad pivoted. Contact.
Grate access. Something moved. Silene lunged forward. She ripped off the hood, but not fully. Crest hidden under fabric folds. She smeared crash grime across her faceplates, dulled her royal shimmer. Stepped into the dim light of the corridor breach. Help! She called, voice pitched low. Common or rough? Buried here. My kit's trapped. Troopers swung beams, blinked at the dust-caked figure. Identify, one demanded. Stunner raised. Silene held up empty hands. No crest flash, no royal poise, just desperate survivor. Prutek, spawns with me. Collapsed deck. Veshkal shoved forward, optics narrowing. He scanned her, saw rags, dirt. No beacon match. Commoner. Where's the royal signal? Lost it in the wreck. Silene edged closer, blocking their view of the grate. Deeper in. Help dig? Troopers hesitated. Veshkal growled. Bind her. She's leverage till we confirm. Evan watched from shadow, Miri trembling in his arms. He palmed a loose conduit rod, makeshift club if needed.
But Silene's play was smart.
Buy time. They cuffed her loose, dust-clogged binders, dragged her towards the breach. She twisted, pointing back. The kit, hear it? A trooper knelt by the grate, pried it open. Toy shuttle gleamed up at him. Evan's gut dropped. Miri gasped. Royal mark on this, the trooper barked.
Spawns here. Veshkal world. Seal it.
Extract now. Chaos erupted. Silene headbutted her cuff holder, ridges flaring true royal blue. Touch my daughter and die. She broke free, claws slashing. Trooper reeled, stunned. Evan moved. He boosted Miri into a ceiling duct. Crawl, fast, to the shuttle bay. She scampered, tail flicking. Evan dropped low, yanked a power coupling. Sparks flew, arc across the corridor. Two troopers convulsed, optics fried. Veshkal fired. Stunner bolt grazed Evan's shoulder. Numb fire spread. He rolled, grabbed the rod, swung low, cracked a knee joint. Human! Veshkal roared, circling. Filth in the wreck! Evan panted, arm dead weight. Yeah. And your optics suck in dust. Silene barreled into another trooper, disarming him. Grabbed the stunner. Fired point blank. Bodies dropped. Miri's voice echoed from the dock. Mama! Evan! Go! Remaining vents blasted full force. Dust choked the air. Squad coughed, retreating. Veshkal fired blind. Old scorched bulkhead near Evan's head. Evan charged, rod high. Connected with Veshkal's helm. Crack. Captain staggered. Silene scooped a fallen rifle. To the inner hold, they bolted. Miri dropping into Evan's arms from the duct. She clung tight, toy forgotten. Hull alarms wailed. Failing systems. O2 dropping. Hull stress rising. Veshkal bellowed from behind. Seal the bays. No escape. Evan patched a breach panel mid-run, fingers flying. Miri's claws held sealant strips steady. Perfect tiny grips.
You're steady, kid, he grunted. She beamed, unafraid now.
Evan fix. Silene covered rear, rifle barking. Troopers fell back, optics overwhelmed. They hit the shuttle bay. Evan's jury-rigged bird from before, shields flickering but hot. Strap in, Evan barked. Silene buckled Miri, hesitated, touched his arm. You turn dust to weapon? Human? Normal? Evan fired engines. Just tech. Get us out. Truck pods outside lit up. Veshkal's reinforcements. Shuttle bucked through debris. Lasers grazed hull. Evan tweaked Evels. Debris field ahead. Their big ship's too fat. Silene nodded. Hailing allies. Fleet, this is Silene. Wreck extraction. Hostiles, inbound. Kings answered. True rescue closing. But scopes lit. Veshkal's flagship warped in, damaged but guns live. Blockade forming. Miri curled between them, claws in Evan's sleeve. Selene's hand overlapped his on the stick. Evan scanned, power low. One trick left. Vent the debris into their path. Watch this, he said. Fans reversed again. Shuttle vents spewing charged dust clouds. Enemy sensors blanked. Veshkal's voice crackled.
Impossible.
That soft skin. Shuttle slipped the net. Allies engulfed them. In the quiet slip, Miri yawned. Silene's crest touched Evan's shoulder. No words. Bond sealed. But scopes pinged faint. Veshkal tailed, plotting. Evan rerouted last power to jammers. Miri helped seal a spark.
Selalen plotted jumps. Family in the fight.
Debris loomed larger. Unknown signatures inside.
Ambush?
Silene tensed. Evan grinned. Our turn to collect them. Engines roared. They plunged in. Veskal's squad hit the wreck hard. Drop pods cratering the hull amid twisted metal. Evan felt the impacts. Shudder through the shuttle's frame. Drop pods slammed into the wreck's outer hull like battering rams. Alarms screamed. He yanked the stick, veering into a jagged tear in the debris field. Brace, Evan barked. Selene clutched Miri tight. The shuttle grazed a spar, sparks exploding across the canopy. Metal groaned. They clipped a drifting panel. Engines whined, then cut. The shuttle spun into the wreck's maw, crashing through a buckled bulkhead. Evan's head snapped forward. Pain bloomed in his shoulder. He unstrapped. Tasting blood. Everyone out. Now. Selene scooped Miri, her crest flattening in alarm. This way, maintenance access. They piled into a dim passage, emergency lights flickering red. Footsteps echoed behind. Veshkal's squad breaching. Blaster fire chewed the walls. Evan grabbed Silene's arm. Faster. The deck buckled. A passage ahead collapsed in a roar of dust and screeching girders. Selene stumbled, pinned under a falling slab. Miri wailed from her arms. Evan lunged. He hauled Silene free, her weight heavier than expected under low gravity. The ceiling groaned, chunks plummeting. He spotted a snapped ladder frame wedged nearby. Twisted alloy strong enough. Down. He shoved them aside, then rammed the frame upward. Muscles burned as he braced it against the sagging plates. It held, barely. Dust rained on his back. Selene stared, her multifaceted eyes wide.
You lifted that?
Later, Evan ducked under. Move. They scrambled forward. Rebar snagged Evan's packstrap, yanking him back mid-stride. It bit deep, pinning him as the floor tilted. Blaster bolts whined closer. Selene spun. She drew her blade tool, vibrating edge, humming blue. One slash severed the strap clean. Evan tumbled free. Thanks, he gasped, rubbing his shoulder. Her crest twitched. Approval. Reciprocate. Miri tugged Evan's hand. Hot. Fire. Evan smelled it first, acrid fuel. An engine compartment ahead flared orange, flames licking through a ruptured line. Heat warped the air. No way around. Shield, Evan said. He ripped locker doors free, thin alloy panels, improvised them into a lean-to, overlapping edges. Miri between me and Mom. Low crawl.
He marched ahead, holding the shield high.
Flames roared, singeing his sleeves. Heat seared his face. Miri whimpered but crawled steady, claws clicking on grate. Silene covered their flank, blade ready. They burst through, coats smoldering. Evan dropped the doors, panting. Clear? Miri hugged his leg. You strong? Selene scanned the junction. Beacon panel. Here. Her claws danced over controls. A short-range pulse fired, tuned to loyal guard frequencies only. Allies, inbound. Minutes, but scopes pinged. Veshkal's squad, closing. 3 corridors out. Footfalls thundered. Evan eyed event grate. Trap them? Silene nodded. Seal this shaft. Evan jury-rigged a power tap from a live conduit. Sparks flew as he overloaded the hatch servos. It slammed shut, locking with a hiss. Blasters pounded outside. Futile. Miri pointed. Lights go. Power flickered. The wreck's failing grid chose its victims. Bulkheads whined, shifting under strain. Up, Evan said. He boosted Miri into a service duct. Celine followed, lithe despite her frame. Evan squeezed last scrapes, drawing blood. They emerged in engineering sublevel. Console sparked. Air grew thin, life support dying. Veshkal's voice boomed over intercom. Princess, surrender the child. The human is forfeit. Celine's jaw set.
Never.
Evan patched a sensor feed. Drop pods clustered near the bridge. They're flooding the core. We loop back, hit their pods. Miri yawned, eyes drooping. Evan pulled a ration bar from his pack. Human standard, dense protein. Eat. Stay sharp. She nibbled, tail flicking. Taste good. Yours? Ours now. He ruffled her crest gently. Celine watched, blade sheathed. You care. Why? Evan shrugged, checking seals. Kid needs it. Simple. Alarms wailed anew. A bulkhead ahead buckled inward. Venting atmosphere. Celine grabbed Miri. Evan slammed an iris valve shut. Too slow. Suction pulled. He wedged his boot, holding it.
Wind howled. Celine lashed her blade tool's tether to his harness, anchoring them.
Old, she yelled. Evan gritted teeth. The valve caught. He cranked it manual. Seals hissed tight. They slumped against walls, breathing hard. Miri burrowed between them. Beacon pinged. Loyal signals closing. But Veshkal's flagship loomed on Scope's tractors priming. Evan rerouted Ock power to jammers. By time.
Celine plotted evasion.
Ducts to Bay 3. Pods there.
They moved.
A tremor shook the deck. Wreck settling. Girder snapped overhead. Evan shoved Celine clear. Debris pinned his leg. Pain lanced. Miri clawed at it. Family helps, Miri said. Evan nodded. No words needed. They reached Bay 3. Pods intact. Royal issue. Armed. But Veshkal's troops breached the outer lock. Boots stomping. Inside, Evan herded them. Celine hotwired a pod. It hummed alive. Evan manned guns. Human reflexes tracking targets. Troops poured in. Blasters flashed. Evan fired. Hits landed clean. Celine punched launch. Pod rocketed out, into chaos. Veshkal's blockade tightened, but beacons guided true allies through the net. Fighters swarmed, lasers carving paths. One pod grazed theirs. Evan tweaked stabilizers, evaded. Celine held Miri. You fly like born to it. Tech, Evan said. Humble. Keeps us alive. Miri slept now, safe in the press of bodies. Pods docked with rescue cruiser. Medics swarmed. Veshkal's voice crackled last. This changes nothing, Softskin. Evan ignored it. He carried Miri inside, Celine at his side. But scopes pinged faint pursuit. Wreck debris masked signatures. Hostiles regrouping. Celine's hand brushed his. Together. Evan nodded. The fight chose them next. Blaster fire scorched the medbay doorframe. Captain Veshkal strode through the smoke, his squad fanning out behind him. Scaled faces gleamed under helmet lights. Rifles swept the room. Evan Rourke crouched behind an overturned medcart, pulse racing. Celine pressed against a wall beside him, her claws tight on Miri's shoulder. The alien child whimpered, eyes wide on the intruders. Princess Celine. Veshkal barked. His voice echoed off sterile bulkheads. The air is under my protection now. Surrender her, or we take you both. Celine's tail lashed. She shifted, blocking Miri from view. Evan scanned the bay through the cart's gap. 2 exits, main door sealed by debris from the cruiser's earlier hit. Rear vent, too narrow for adults. Console sparked, emergency lights flickering. Life support hummed low. No games royal, Veshkal growled. He leveled his blaster at Celine's position. My blockade punched through your allies. This ship's mine. Hand over the whelp. Miri squirmed. Her small hands gripped Evan's sleeve. He met Celine's gaze. Sharp, calculating. She nodded once. Trust earned in the wreck's ducts. Evan stood slow, hands raised. He stepped between Veshkal and the cart. Squad rifles snapped to him. Soft skin? Veshkal sneered. You again. The technician pest. Me? Evan said, voice steady. Take me hostage.
Let the kid hide. You want leverage?
I'm leverage. Veshkal's eyes narrowed. His squad chuckled low rumbles. You? A human scrap rat trades for a princess's spawn? Pathetic. Evan held position, heart hammered but feet planted. Try me. She hides. You get me. No fight. Behind him, Miri's breath hitched. Salen whispered urgent alien syllables. Movement rustled cloth on deck. Veskal laughed. Fool. We take what we want. A small form crawled from cover, Miri. Not toward Veskal. Toward Evan. She clamped onto his leg, arms locking around his thigh. Pfft. Face buried in his knee. Tiny claws dug in. Not pain. Anchor. Evan froze. Squad rifles twitched.
Miri, no.
Silene hissed. Veshkal's face twisted. Welp, to me. Miri shook her head, burrowed tighter. Safe. The bay went still. Veshkal's squad exchanged glances. Whispers rippled, shock in scaled throats. Impossible, one muttered. She chooses the soft skin? Evan knelt fast, shielding her.
One arm around her back. Hey, kid.
I got you, Veshkal roared.
Seize them.
Silene moved. Her hand slammed the med console. Red alarm blared. Emergency foam. Deploy. Hiss exploded. White chemical foam surged from ceiling vents. It ballooned fast, sticky and hardening. Veshkal fired wild. Bolts splashed harmless in the gelling mass. Squad bolted for the door. Foam swelled, sealing bulkheads. It pinned 2 troops mid-stride, armor cracking under pressure. Veshkal dove clear, but foam lapped his boots. Door irised shut, foam locking it solid. Evan scooped Miri up. She clung, face in his neck. Good girl. Salen grabbed a med kit. Foam holds 10 minutes. Rear vent? Now. They dashed. Evan kicked open a side panel. Wires dangled, fans whirring. Miri wriggled inside first, fearless. Salen followed, tail vanishing. Evan squeezed last, shoulders scraped. Human bulk, no match for alien grace. He yanked the grate shut. Darkness swallowed them. Crawl space reeked of ozone and chem fumes. Miri's glow patches faintly lit the way royal trait, like Silene's. Veshkal's breached the cruiser, Silene said ahead. Voice tight. True allies fight, but he's inside. Evan grunted, inching. Leg throbbed from wreck debris. Bridge next? Lock him out? Pods rerouted. He jammed signals. Selene paused. You offered yourself. Why? Kid first, Evan said. Simple. Family helps.
Miri echoed soft.
Family. Thence shook.
Distant blasts. Cruiser groaned. Hull stress.
They emerged in engineering subdeck. Consoles hummed, red warnings flashing. Evan dropped to a panel. Fingers flew. Bypassed locks, rerouted power. Salen watched. Human tech sense. Faster than our engineers. Screen lit. Veshkal's squad drilled the foam. 2 minutes left.
Seal this deck,
Silene ordered. Evan nodded.
Hot-wired bulkheads. Door slammed shut.
Alarms wailed. Miri tugged his hand. Hungry. Evan rummaged a locker. Protein bars. Human issue. From wreck salvage. He broke one. Handed chunks. She nibbled, eyes trusting. Footsteps pounded outside. Veshkal's voice boomed through vents. Flush them. The child chooses vermin over kin? Find the soft skin. Cyrillin stiffened. He twists it. Propaganda. Won't matter if we move. They ran. Corridors twisted. Emergency lights strobing. Cruiser shuddered. Pursuit ships closing. Laser fire punched a wall ahead. Splinters flew. Veshkal's advance scout. Evan shoved Miri behind crates. Salen drew a scavenged blaster. Evan grabbed a conduit wrench, heavy, balanced. Scout rounded corner. Scaled warrior. Rifle up. Salen fired. Hit high. Grazed helmet. Warrior staggered. Evan lunged. Wrench cracked carapace. Warrior dropped, stunned.
Stun field, Silent said, impressed.
Grabbed cuffs from his belt, secured him. Miri peeked, clapped tiny hands.
Getting strong.
Not strong, precise. Evan wiped sweat. Let's go. They pressed on. Veshkal's voice crackled shipwide. Princess, your daughter clings to a human-like chattel. Surrender, or he dies first. Silene snarled. She chose trust. Miri's hand in his. Small, warm. Salene's glance. Gratitude. Fierce. Armory next. Doors buckled under foam drill. Time short. Inside. Racks of rifles, grenades. Evan armed a pod launcher. Cover. Silene nodded. She scooped Miri, fired suppressive bursts. Troops breached. Blasters flashed. Evan shouldered launcher. Aimed through door. Fired. Grenade arced. Stuck bulkhead outside. Boom.
Screams.
Hallway cleared. Human weapons work like that? Silent asked, eyes wide.
Improvised, Evan said. Humble.
Loaded another. Miri pointed.
Bad men come. Reinforcements. Beshkal led, armor scarred. He spotted them. There, Evan fired. Grenade missed. Veshkal dodged. Alien reflexes sharp. Squad poured fire. Evan dove, pulled Silene down. Miri yelped. Bulkhead sparked. Power flickered. Vent again, Evan yelled. Silene pried great. Mirienne. Evan covered retreat. Blaster bolts singed his arm. Pain flared. He fired back. Human aim steady. 2 down. Silene yanked him in. Great clanged shut. Crawl. Sweat dripped. Leg screamed. You're hit, Silene said. Keep moving. Miri ahead, glowing. Evan family. Help. They spilled into auxiliary bay. Escape pods, 3 left. Cons Evan yanked the console panel free. Sparks danced across his fingers. Wires spilled like guts from the auxiliary thruster controls. Miri huddled behind him, her small crest flickering blue with fear. Silene guarded the hatch, rifle leveled at the grate they'd crawled through. Pods won't fly, Evan muttered. Fuel line severed. But these thrusters. Backup system. I can hotwire a burn. Silene glanced back. Burn for what? Veshkal seals the bay. Ridge beacon. Their signal tower. 1 pulse fries it. Buys time. Miri tugged his sleeve. Evan fix? Like armory boom? He nodded, twisting red to blue. Circuits hummed. Alien tech fought him. Modular locks. Bio-off. But human hands adapted. He bridged the gap with scavenged pod wiring. Gauge spiked green. Princess! A voice crackled from her comm. Veshkal. Your human delays the inevitable. Surrender the child. Silene snarled. She slammed her crest against the broadcast panel. Royal code flashed, golden sigil pulsing. Loyalists of the Veil conquered. This is Silene. Veshkal betrays his oath. Arrest him on sight. Coordinates locked. Respond now. Static hissed. Then, crest verified, Highness. ETA 12 minutes. Hold. Veshkal laughed over open channel. Loyalists, your house crumbles. Fuel cells breach in 10.
Evan gripped the firing lever. Thrusters hot.
Aiming ridge. 3 clicks north. Brace. Silene scooped Miri. Do it. He pulled. Wreck shuddered. Auxiliary jets roared. 1 savage burn. Flame licked the hull. Outside, Evan imagined the ridge beacon vaporizing in plasma fire. Veshkal's link died. Silence fell. Smoke poured from vents. Alarms wailed. Out, Evan said. He slung the pod launcher over his shoulder, grabbed Miri from Silene.
Child wrapped arms around his neck, trusting.
Smoke rising. Fuel cells next. Silene hefted the beacon case. Heavy, black, royal seal glowing. Signal loyalists, our exit vector. Open ground. South Ridge. They kicked the bay hatch. Corridor choked with acrid haze. Blaster scars, blackened walls, bodies slumped from their earlier fight. Veshkal's troops. Evan charged forward. Miri clutched tight, her warmth pressed against his chest. Smoke-stung eyes. Lead wound throbbed from the crawl, but he pushed. Footsteps echoed behind. Reinforcements? Silene dragged the case, rifle in one hand. Crest flared, lighting their path. Service duct. Veshkal burst from a side passage. Armor venting steam.
Human filth!
You dare? Evan spun. Fired the launcher one-handed. Grenade stuck his boot. Veshkal leaped back. Reflexes saved him. Explosion rocked the deck. Bulkhead crumpled. Go! Evan roared. He bolted left, Miri bouncing against him. She whimpered but held silent. Smoke thickened. Lights flickered red. Hull groaned. Fuel cells igniting. Heat baked their backs. Silene overtook case, scraping sparks.
Ducked ahead. Crawl again?
Evan spotted a cargo ramp, half open. Ramp down. Ground level. He shouldered it wide. Fresh air rushed in. Jungle stink. Rain. But smoke billowed out, marking them. Veshkal's voice boomed from speakers. All units.
South ramp, kill the human.
Child lives. Troops swarmed the corridor. Blasts chewed the frame. Evan leaped down ramp first. Mud sucked his boots. Miri gasped at the drop, but clung. Jungle loomed. Vines, bioluminescent ferns, night sky cracked by distant stars. Saline tumbled after, case thudding beside her. She flipped it open. Antenna word up. Beacon active. Loyalists pinged. Evan scanned the tree line. Shadows moved. Veshkal's hunters. Run.
South Ridge.
He scooped Miri higher. Legs burned. Arm wound wept blood, but he sprinted. Saline matched pace. Case latched to her back now. They crashed through underbrush. Thorns ripped skin. Miri buried face in Evan's shoulder. Family run fast, she whispered. He grinned through grit. Damn right. Blaster fire scorched vines behind. Veshkal crashed through. Squad fanning out. Flank them. Saline fired back. Dropped one. Ridge in sight. 50 meters. Evan's lungs screamed. Smoke from the wreck coiled skyward. A funeral pyre. Fuel cells would blow any second. Beacon case beeped. Saline checked. Loyalists inbound. 2 minutes. A bolt grazed Evan's calf. He staggered. Miri yelped. Down. Saline shoved him behind a boulder. She laid suppressive fire. Veshkal closed. Eyes locked on Miri. Give her up, human, he growled. Evan rose. Launcher empty. He ripped a vine free. Improvised whip? No. Spotted a fern cluster. Explosive sap from earlier crash survey. He grabbed handfuls, hurled at Veshkal's feet. Sap ignited on blaster heat. Whoosh, flames erupted. Troops screamed. Batting fire. Go! Evan bolted again. Miri light as hope now. Ridge broke open. Clear ground. Overlook. Wreck visible below, venting plasma. Silent planted beacon. Transmit complete. Sky thrummed. Shuttles screamed in. Loyalist gunships. Crests gleaming. They strafed Veshkal's line. Explosions dotted jungle. Veshkal roared defiance. Charged alone. Evan set Miri down. Picked up Saline's discarded rifle. Aimed. Human steady breath held, trigger smooth.
Bolt punched Veshkal's chest plate.
He dropped, smoking.
Shuttles landed. Ramps dropped. Armored guards poured out, crests loyal blue.
Highness. Lead officer saluted. Extract secure.
Saline grabbed the case, nodded to Evan. You first. With Miri.
He lifted the child. She waved at guards shyly.
Evan family saved Miri. One murmured. The human fired the thrusters. Beacon down. Evan ignored. Boarded ramp. Saline followed. Doors hissed shut. Below, Wreck's fuel cells detonated. Fireball bloomed, swallowing the bay. Wreck launched upward in one final scrap-wired spasm. Hull plates shearing, thruster ghosts painting the night. Shuttle banked hard. Evan strapped in, Miri on lap. Saline sat across, eyes on him. Gratitude raw. You turned scrap to salvation, she said. Humans, we underestimated. Just kept her alive. Normal day. More family now. Galaxy watched the flare. Crashed ship launching on human ingenuity. Veshkal's fleet scattered. Loyalists hailed. Princess secured. Human asset confirmed. Evan felt Miri's crest pulse against his skin. Warm. Steady. Trust, forged in fire. But scopes pinged. Enemy cruisers inbound. Rescue just began. Saline leaned forward. Veshkal's masters come. Your skills. Evan checked the shuttle's aux panel. Wires exposed. I see them. Let's wire a jump. Guards gaped. Human hands already danced.